Question everything, for the truth should I be televised, and that's for sure. So with that, Gen Xers, Gen Xers, Gen Xers, what it means to be a Gen Xer. Oh man, to be born as a Gen Xer, growing up in the 70s, 80s, 90s. I remember when we first started creating breakdancing and how we was forming that whole reality of breakdancing on cardboard boxes and stuff, doing our spin outs and so on. And I remember how it didn't matter if you had on brand new clothes or old clothes, if that music was playing and everybody was breakdancing, you was down with it. I remember when hip hop was being formed and we was in the hallways doing the human bebop, trying to figure out how to make a beat on the wall and off poles and buckets and stuff just to get that rap going. And then your man pick up the beat by rapping to the beat that you're spitting. I remember those days. You know what I mean? I remember when crack cocaine hit and we was all out as young youth, children, trying to figure out which way to go because the majority of adults that was around us actually got hit with it and fell victim to it. And it was just devastating to all of us walking around, you know, without really no guidance and stuff at that time, because the adults was doing what they was doing and the children was doing what they was doing. It was like out of sight, out of mind. Go outside, be safe, but do what you do. You know what I mean? And in that, we had to form realities and form alliances to be able to protect ourselves, at the same time be able to sort of like govern and be guardians to one another, because we knew a lot of us parents had fell victim to that situation when it comes to the crack cocaine and what was going on in the communities. I remember when we used to have the box wars where people used to bring out their radios and stuff and just sit them on the ground, turn up the music, and whoever came by with their radio on their shoulder walking, and they walked up on another person with their radio playing, he would drop his radio off his shoulder, and then they'd turn up the music, and whoever music was the loudest wins the battle, and you had to give up your box and stuff like that because you lost the battle. So you walk away with 2 boxes, the other guy walk away without his box because he lost that battle and stuff like that. You know, I remember those days. I remember walking around seeing brothers and sisters, you know, some sisters too, with the Kangos, the red ones, the pink ones, and all the different style Kangos and stuff, because LL was rocking the Kango and stuff, so we was rocking the Kangos. I remember when people used to do the Flavor Flav dance back in the day and used to rock the big clocks, because Flavor Flav was rocking the big clocks, so we was all walking around with big clocks and stuff. I remember how hip-hop was about liberation and coming together amongst each other, to unite amongst each other, to fight the power against the motherfucking powers that be, so that way we can bring some unity back to our communities. Yeah, I remember when we was talking about F the PO and 911 was that, you know what I mean? We used to talk about it being a joke and many other things and stuff like that, because we was understanding how things was going on in our community and how we was being treated in our community. And we weren't willing to accept that. So we was on that rebellious class, not trying to hear that, because we understood that we were struggling. You know what I mean? I remember back when we used to come outside and just walk around the community trying to figure out what to do with ourselves. Go find little cardboard, you know, not cardboard, but little lumber and stuff like that, and build little clubhouses and stuff in the community and stuff, and just chill out in the clubhouse and just rank and stuff, being whole sessions ranking and stuff. Man, you so small that when you was walking, man, you tripped over a curve. You know what I mean? And it used to be all of us out there just getting it in and stuff like that on the rank side, man, whole sessions and stuff like that. I mean, everybody having a good time and laughing, no beef and stuff. I remember back in the day, what we was doing as Gen Xers, playing, you know, house parties. What y'all knew about the house party? The kid and play house parties. We used to do the house parties, and it wasn't no come through with the ratchet and light up the house party, because we was too busy having a good time. We wouldn't allow that type of stuff. And then guess what? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Who will raid the house party? The colonizer come raid the house party. People jumping out the second floor windows, jumping off the banisters and stuff to get out the way, to get out of Dodge. Why? Because we were smoking that tree. You know, and back then that tree was, you know, illegal in some places. It still is, you know. But I remember all those good times that we used to have, you know. That was good days where when you did come through the community and you seen the B-boys on the block, they had some respect for the block. Yeah, I mean, they cleaned up their corners that they stood in, had respect for the elders and stuff, and the ladies that used to come through, helping with their bags and stuff. When the children came through and the ice cream truck came through, yeah, I mean, the B-boys on the blocks come through and give all the little kids money and stuff so you can get ice cream and stuff, because we had some love for each other. I remember those days. I mean, when, if we having community day in the community or something, or a parade day, we didn't let nothing, no chaos come and disturb that, because we're police our own. You know what I mean? Because we understood that when the grandmas and the people came out, you know what I mean, we threw our cookouts, that you had to have respect for that, because that was our reality. Our senior citizens was there, our mothers was there, our grandparents was there, our babies was there. So you don't come and be on some ratchet junk like you see today and disrespect what's going on for the community. I remember those days, that Gen Xer type of way, because we wasn't trying to take nothing. This was about upliftment and change. And then eventually, this is the breaks came back in, what, 88, 89, when the music polarity changed, when NWA came out and all this gangster rap came out, and this deaf culture started to be pushed on us 100% from the industry, separating and dividing us from each other when we was trying to unite with each other, walking around with black medallions on our chests and stuff, representing Africa and many other different places. Even though majority of us ain't from Africa, we still had love. Know what I mean? But this is the reality of what Gen Xers was about. We was about that upliftment. We was about that change. We was about that survival and power to the people. And then somewhere along the line, we got hijacked. And in turn, generations started come up after us. Babies having babies, they called it, when we was coming up. And then those babies came out, and for some reason, they wasn't nourished as much as we was nourished when it comes to unity and trying to come together based off of our circumstance. And in turn, they divided themselves. And today, what do we see? A lot of chaos in our community based off a lot of self-hatred, a lot of poverty and being poverty-stricken, a lot of abandoned buildings because we lost all our businesses in that crack era when a lot of our adults was going down, you know, based off of what was happening in our community. A lot of the people was fleeing and leaving the community that was doing well and not looking back to come back and try to help the community, because the community was going up in flames based off of that situation with the drug era coming through with that crack. Because crack was like an infestation, one of the greatest pandemics that I've seen in my lifetime, where it devastated whole areas. And because of it, you ask me, that's another form of why we need reparations as well. Because at the end of the day, they told you who hit us with that. They said that they wanted to get rid of who? People like my father, the Black Panthers, and many others who represented our communities, uplifting our communities, and in turn, they came through with that ooh-wee and fish scale, and really knocked off our people, knocked off our heads of households, knocked off a lot of our leaders, and we lost a lot of guidance coming up. But that's the reality of being a Gen Xer. And this is why when we look at voting and we look at all this stuff that got us walking and running around in circles, we be like, nah, I ain't for that. Nah, I ain't for that. Why? Because we done seen for our life generation that it don't work. It hasn't done nothing for us. Hasn't changed our circumstance. And because of it, we stand with that B-boy stand with that look. Like, yeah, we ain't trying to hear that. Know what I mean? Because that's what it is. And we keep that edge on us, because at the end of the day, that's what it was about. Now, I mean, if it don't move our community, if it don't move us in the right manner, if it don't unify us, if it don't bring growth to our community, then we looking at it with that eye. Like, man, what's this about? But see, that Gen Xer was that reality. We stood for real stuff, and we still do today. And with that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. For that is the question. You let me know. Peace, peace.